Good morning, everybody. Glad to have you here as we start the 29th chapter of Proverbs, which is probably what we would label in modern literature and the way books are written today, the conclusion. Pretty common in books still today to, when you get to the end of the book, the end of a speech, to kind of say in summary and then kind of go over your major thoughts. And so here in chapter 29, we're not going to come across any new wisdom, just kind of a reminder of the key points that have been discussed throughout the book and contrasting again the wise and the foolish. In the first section, this chapter is really in three sections. The first one, first 10 verses, are about how we treat others. The second section then will be kind of home and community. And then the final few verses will talk about justice. And so let's jump in here, and we're going to look at these first 10 verses that talk about our attitude, our conduct towards other people. He that being often reproved hardeneth his neck shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. The sinner who refuses correction, refuses to repent, he says, will be destroyed suddenly, and which is a warning to the sinner, but somewhat of a comfort, I think, to believers. Many times we as believers have in our mind that it seems like the wicked man gets away with everything. But this reminds us that judgment will come suddenly, and that without remedy. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. We've seen this throughout history, how the citizens of a country, how they are at peace, how they are content. When a righteous man is in leadership, and the pain and the grief that is caused when a wicked man is in authority. Whoso loveth wisdom rejoiceth his father, but he that keepeth company with harlots spreadeth his substance. By living in wisdom, by living our life and exercising wisdom, we make we please our parents, and we don't squander our money on things that are wicked. The king by judgment establisheth the land, but he that receiveth gifts overthroweth it. Wise men make just rulers who make the land, make their country better, whereas wicked rulers, through their greed, take bribes and ultimately will destroy their nation. A man that flattereth his neighbor spreadeth a net for his feet. Be careful of someone who is flattering you. He says they are setting a trap. They are laying a trap for your feet. In the transgression of an evil man there is a snare, but the righteous doth sing and rejoice. The righteous man can sing, he can lay down his head at night and go to sleep peacefully because he has been forgiven, because he is living a God honoring life, where the wicked man is caught up in his own trap. The righteous considereth the cause of the poor, but the wicked regardeth not to know it. a righteous man, a wise man, has mercy on the poor, the hungry, the less fortunate, those that are unable to take care of themselves. Scornful men bring a city into a snare, but wise men turneth away wrath. Wise men, he says, bring peace and happiness and bring calmness into a city. But a foolish man, he stirs up the city. If a wise man contendeth with a foolish man, whether he rage or laugh, there is no rest. Wise man doesn't bother arguing, debating with a foolish man. He knows that he can't win. It reminds me of the saying, I'm sure many of you have heard it before, you can wrestle with a hog, you both get muddy, but only one of you enjoy it. Wise men don't waste their time arguing, debating with the foolish man. The bloodthirsty hate the upright, but the just seek his soul. A wise man, he says, is one who cares about doing what is right, who cares about being honest. The wicked man, he's bloodthirsty. He doesn't care about any of that. And so what we have here in these first 10 Proverbs, again, first 10 verses of this chapter are really a good balance, good measuring stick of whether we're righteous or wicked, wise or foolish, and how we govern and how we live our life. Don't know who made this quote, who made this statement, but they said that a man is not what he thinks he is, but what he thinks he is. And so our attitude, how we think about others, how we think about ourselves, tells a great deal about our testimony. And so challenge you to take that checklist today. Take that list and go through it. Spend a little more time than I was able to do this morning and measure yourself. The Bible teaches us to judge ourselves, to measure ourselves so that we are not judged. And so hope you'll think about those things today. Have a good one, and we will see you back here tomorrow morning.